The S is like a Zorro slash, kind of like, but it's all connected. And it's going to look kind of like, it doesn't have points to it, but it almost does. It's like, no hooks on the end, no hooks on either end.
It's not happening.
No hooks on either end.
Did I do it? Is that too curvy?
That's great.
Yes. I don't like S.
S takes practice, but when you get good at it, you're like, oh, this is so cool. Okay, T, of course, very easy. It's really like the L. You do the straight down, then you move your triangle, and you cross it. Okay, U is like the J, but more fun because you're going the right direction, right? So you start with your downstroke and your triangle. Move your triangle out of the way to curve around, and bring it back to go up.
Wow.
So it's the fun of the J. I mean, it's the irritation of the J, but the fun of doing it in the right
Do you
direction.
go up with that last word?
You do. This is the one exception.
Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's no tail on the U. I would not object if you did your U with a tail, and if you do prefer your U with a tail, I will slightly think of it in a condescending manner, but I will allow it. So you go down, curve, and down. I just think it's an unnecessary step.
I think it's prettier without
It's smooth, it looks like the J, it
Lowercase
belongs.
T's, get the tail, uppercase and stuff.
I've seen this in professional drafting, but I never think it looks as good.
Frog, a baby frog.
Okay, now the rest of them, except for one tiny piece of the Y, is all freehand. So V is like the M, V, V. And W, again, all freehand like the M, down, 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 down. X is what you would expect.
Take me forever to get X.
It's freehand,
I know,
but
but my mind is so trained to do straight slash and then a curve to cross the
oh, no,
like
no,
the
no,
mathematical like
no. Well, this is a capital
This
X.
thing?
That
Yeah.
helps. Everything is capital. And then the Y, you can do two ways. You can do it totally freehand by doing stem in, stem down. But I prefer to do down, down, down.
I don't know.
You
I
can
like the other
choose
way.
which one
Is
you
this
like.
the
You like
dot
this one.
in the middle.
This is gonna be entertaining. I'm really angry.
What did I do on the front?
You did the.
You
down
did
the
the.
middle.
I did the stem. I like the stem, the straight stem, because I like straight edge whenever I'm allowed to use it. And then Z is freehand, and it's a little bit dancey. So it kind of
Do you have
leans
those
a little,
diagonals still?
barely,
It's-
barely. Not as much as most of the other letters. Because if you do it too much, it looks like a 2.
Yeah, mine looks like two.
Okay, so are you ready to give some of these a try? Before you do, let's do a quick row of numbers. Quick row of numbers? Quick row of numbers? Okay. Numbers are a whole lot of freehand. I'm going to do them big so you can see. Okay. So numbers. The 1 looks exactly like the I. Gosh, I can do it all the way right. 1. And then you basically don't get to use your triangle that much after that. The 2, pay very special attention to the 2 because I hate an ugly 2. I hate an ugly 2. So an ugly 2 looks like this. Ew! The curly 2 and the bendy top and the swishy base. It's way too feminine and not strong.
I guess.
Like how passionate.
Call my twos girly?
You are.
I am calling your 2s girly.
Damn.
So your 2s need to man up. No, your 2s need to toughen up. I don't like the term man up because I'm just as tough as a guy. So we're going to go like this.
Those are my normal twos. I'm so excited.
Perfect.
Happy day.
It probably doesn't have to come up that far. It's hard to do it big. Okay. But the point is, it's got a point and it has no hook. It's like half of a heart, kind of. If you do a fierce heart. Like this is a fierce heart. This is a girly heart. I can't even draw the girly heart.
That's pretty good.
It's not in my nature.
I've always been horrible at drawing hearts. I cannot draw.
Well, half a heart will be the
Me
first part of the
either.
two. Okay, ready for the three? I prefer the top of the three to have a point. So it's going to be like this.
That doesn't look fun.
That's not how
I
you
do half of my numbers, like how I draw it.
I think it's better when the bottom is, again, like a half of a heart and it doesn't curl up. You don't want